Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York. Be right with you. I got to check on something. Hey, all. How you guys doing? You're in your backyard? That's great. Hey, Linda. Thumbs up to Linda for her fuel cell. Nice day today. Hey, Pete. I got to invite. Oh, had Spike got the invitation? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Spike with his big face.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you got it. I was a little late. Are we on the right YouTube station? I know that sounds crazy, but could you check
If we're what?
if we're on?
If we're on YouTube? Yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah, take a
I
look.
will take a look. Not a problem. So how are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I just did something that felt a little wrong, so strange. I made a faux pas. Maybe.
And what is that? Did you
I don't know.
use the
I think I might have.
salad?
I have two YouTube stations. I hope I picked the right one.
Okay. I
Well,
thought maybe it
people
was
are
something.
finding me. So. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Mariana.
Well, it says live now, but let me see which one that is.
Must be right.
Yeah. Yes, it is, because it's the one I'm subscribed to. But let me see which one that is. Yep. We're good.
We're good? All right, that's good.
Yes, we are good.
So today was a very interesting day. The Dow is soaring to record highs. They could burn Washington, D.C. down, doesn't matter. They could burn the White House down, doesn't matter.
Well, they tried.
They tried, yeah. Hey, Bob.
Yes, it was a good day for some things, and not a good day for other things. Like how I was talking about.
Shalom to you. Magnificent answers. A greeting from Netanyahu, direct from Netanyahu.
Him and his henchmen.
You know, Biden was supposedly very good friends with Netanyahu, but I think that romance is over.
Well, probably publicly anyway.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Like you say, who knows? Linda wants.
She wants the usual. We have to.
Linda's making me money. I went to Fuel Cell because Linda said she went to $3.
And how has that been doing? I hadn't paid attention.
How is what?
How is Fuel Cell doing? Making money on this?
The volume is. I'm not hearing you good.
You're gaslighting me again, my friend.
But it's not on my end, I don't think.
I'm going to go closer to the mic, and I'll speak louder. How's that?
Is Boeing a biotech?
Well, it could give one a heart attack.
That's true.
So in that way, there is a medical component.
I've been charting too many blue chips. 3M.
Yeah, no, I know. People have been getting Kimberly Clark.
I'm going to have to change the title of the show.
Well, Johnson & Johnson is a blue chip, but it's a biotech blue chip.
Kimberly Clark. Hi, all from the Green Mountain States.
Green Mountains. Well, we got the whole gang here today.
They from California. Dave from Carmel, California.
Yeah, I love that Archie Bunker.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good impersonation of Archie on his part.
What on his twits?
Yeah, he looks just like him, Dave.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he resembles him. Look at Dave. Doesn't he look like Archie?
Get your beer over here, Archie.
Just like I look like Einstein, you know, and when I let
Oh yeah,
my hair get
you got the maybe a couple inches of hair ago.
Einstein's IQ isn't far away from mine. It depends on if you count by tens.
Yeah, right. Well, he probably couldn't pass those stupid little tests anyway. Remember, even when he was a kid, he thought he was slow.
I'm sure he can't draw lines like Dr. J. He couldn't draw lines.
Oh, please, like come on, the expert, the savant. Hey, you know, last week I was watching the show from Friday. Why didn't anybody get any of the Linda questions about the songs?
Oh, why didn't they come up with Paul McCartney anyway?
Well, did Paul McCartney write a song about his wife?
I think Paul McCartney's song about his wife is the most touching.
Yeah, but that's a song called My Love. There's a song called Linda. You know, whenever I sleep, I never count sheep. I count all the charm of Linda.
And also, didn't Frankie do a Linda song? I was thinking of a Frankie song.
That one, but there are a couple of other ones. The only other one that came to, excuse me? The only other one that came to my mind was Linda Lou, which is an old rockabilly song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's because of that chick, Linda Lou.
Somebody, I think it was Clarence from upstate New York, he came up with a grassroots song I never heard of.
That's right. That's right. They did have, I think it was called Bella Linda, something like that.
Hey,
so anyway,
Tim.
You know, I couldn't call in because I was already I was doing this, you know, asynchronously. So it was like in the middle of the night.
Let me tell you, Tim has done his research over and over again on athx. Over and over again. He's done about 39 hours of due diligence, and that would be.
Does he have any explaining to do?
Well, the point is, I think he likes athx, just like Dr. J.
Davis, what was the on Friday? Dr. J asked questions about whether or not there was songs with the name Linda.
Yeah.
In them.
Yeah.
And so like I said, I wasn't able to answer because I wasn't watching live, and so it was upsetting me that nobody was coming up with the answers.
It upsets me too.
Yeah.
They could have made one up at least. If they didn't know one, they could have just made one up.
It's true. See, I didn't know about the grassroots song. I thought that was a Paul Revere and the Raiders song, but very good. I mean, I wanted to do this without looking at Google. I wanted to do this based on my memory. So I'm starting to get, you know, a little rattled back in here, and I need to constantly test myself.
I wrote athc. Well, I wanted to see if there were any athc followers.
Barry Manilow. Yeah, Linda's got to know. Barry Manilow, a Linda song.
Ah, Barry Manilow.
Did you mean Linda, the name Linda?
Barry Manilow is one of the great composers of our era. Beautiful songs. Yeah. Beautiful. I love his elevator music. Tim is calling from the road on I-40.
On the road. Eyes on the road, Tim. None of this. Unless you're only listening.
Honk 3 times for Dr. J. Honk 3 times.
Yeah, right. In Tennessee.
You're 57. You're not. Women do not say their age.
Yeah, that's what that's why I did not comment on that remark. So precisely that.
If you admit to being 57, you're probably 75. What's going on?
Well, hey, look, Jack Benny made a whole act out of it.
Did he ever go from 39 to 40? I think we finally did.
Magnificent was right. He said, no, she really 7.
I think he had a 40th birthday party on television.
Did he really?
I think so.
Well, I tell my students I'm in my 40s. I'm 4019.
Cabinet guy, I'll take some.
Yeah.
Ship it my way. Hemp.
Where we should presume.
Yeah.
Well, you could always make some good rope out of it.
Right. So I gather hemp didn't do too well last year. 176% in pen, and your NWB0 BO pick is not a bad one, Tim. NWBO, I bought it at 17 cents. Tim alerted me to it. I sold it at 40 cents. And it's still
6%.
hanging in the 30s.
NWBO, that's the one.
Tim is very sharp stock picker. We both like Meso Blast as well, at least.
Right, Meso.
And Tim, you.
That's the one that's sort of bothering athx, right?
They're in the race. They're in the race.
That's the craw, the thorn on the side.
They're in the race.
Yeah, well, you know, it's weird because I wake up every morning if these stocks have moved, but I see that post that said that was attributed to the Berkshire Hathaway guy. Said something like the stock market is a mechanism that moves money from the impatient to the patient.
Buffett 3 weeks ago said he's not going to put another penny into this market because he feels it's going to go.
Hey, I'm back into buying my my VIXs. I'm averaging down my price on my VIX.
So you agree? You and Buffett are on the same page. They definitely go.
Well, I still have all that fun money on, like, you know, the ones that we're going to talk about today. CVM, bcrx, athx. Just, you know, just for what they say, blanks and giggles. But you know, and I'm still the water is still doing great. You know, I got off of American Waterworks, and that's actually been doing very well. And these printing stocks is still doing well also.
The one that you made me buy is doing fine, right? I'm up money.
It's yeah, that one's up. It went up like 12% in one day, and you know, and that scared me, so I bailed. But I still have some. Yeah, SSYS. That, you know, I still have some.
So why did you give me a good one? How come you gave me a good one? How come you gave me a good one?
It was an accident. Well, no, Protolab was decent. Triple D is actually holding its own too.
I know, man. You're onto something.
Okay.
PRLB, SSYS. You're very much on lately.
Yeah, well, for now. Hopefully my VIX play is not a good play for the rest of you out there. But
a big cup of what? Tea? A big cup of what? I'm going to take a look at ttoo.
Oh,
I wasn't going.
Yeah, I'm not even. We have talked about that one here and there. Usually by
Linda
request.
And Magnificent Answer both like ttoo apparently.
Well,
so
then that's
worth taking a look.
You had me at Linda.
Had you at Linda?
That's
all right.
So I should look at it too, then, shouldn't I?
I'm trying to get to my other browser so I can the cup is formed from the cup and handle. It's Dr. J has to see this because I may want to take a sip out of that cup.
And not only that, but it's always nice. It's always nice to be able to demonstrate good examples of these things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, as a teacher,
I believe CVM early on had a beautiful cup and handle. Probably why.
Yeah, that one I actually saw that. I didn't have to imagine.
Way back. Going back a ways.
Because one of my theories is that people do a lot of projection in this game. Oh, there's your athx.
Now, notice how it broke the upward trend line, only to start another upward trend line. But at the same time, it's banging up against the strong resistance in the downward trend line. You see this? 1, 2, 3 hits right here, and now it's got to prove that it can go above this close. Well, it did close above it here, but today it closed below it. So it's flirting with trouble. Actually, if it gets out of this channel, I think it could sell off a little bit. It doesn't mean much because I'm in it for the long term, but it might mean a small hit in the meanwhile. I said on Friday, if I was smart, I'd sell it up around where it is and look to get back in lower, but I'm not that smart. So
yeah, how many of us are that smart? You're only smart if you make money off of it later on.
You know what it is? When I think I'm smart, I turn out being dumb. Turns out I was dumb. So I'd rather think that I'm dumb. Turns out that I'm smart.
If you watch Star Wars, the Force isn't something that you force. The Force just sort of happens.
That's why may the Force be with you.
That's right.
Don't you think that this would be an ideal spot to get back in at the low of this candle, 265? You sell now and you get back in at 265. That's a nice little difference.
Either that or just add to your position if you're still willing to gamble.
It's a gamble. Yeah, you could.
I mean, look, I'm backing you up, and and I'm hoping. So maybe look, with those crosses is a breakout, like one of those pennants that I like.
Yeah,
and it could break out either way, but I'm hoping it breaks out.
This is really a key level because if it breaks this level, we're probably looking at trouble.
Right.
Trouble.
Well, but it didn't do that. That last red candle didn't do it. So.
It didn't break this candle. It didn't make a lower low. This was a low now. Yeah, this is the trouble. If it breaks this, it could really go low. If it breaks 230, it's big trouble.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Actually, if it breaks this, it's big trouble. If it breaks 265.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's why I was even looking at your line. It's still staying above your second line.
You got the 50-day for a little support. If it gets through that, you got nothing until 230.
Well, nothing but a buy opportunity, assuming you like their ischemic stuff.
And yeah, of course. What you say is true, but I still don't want it at 230. I do not.
How many days away are we from that little cross? About 2-3 days? 3 trading days, right? 3 trading days.
Which cross?
It looks like you're drawing almost a 2-dimensional pennant over there, and with those 2 lines crossed. Yes.
I'll tell you. The date would be 6/5.
Okay. So that would actually be this Friday.
Correct. So it should decide by Friday whether it's going to trade above this lower trend line or above it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what worries me, that it's starting to adhere to the lower trend line. I mean,
Right.
it has been adhering to that lower trend line, but the lower trend line still was pretty high. And now the lower trend line is going lower. That's what happens with lower trend lines.
Mm-hmm.
Negative trend lines. Negative slope. We don't like negative slope. All right.
Not when we're trying to make money, and we're not shorters.
Yeah, no, we're not shorters. All right, so I'll get rid of athx.
Yeah, let's
And
do
we'll
ttoo for our audience.
Okay, TTTO and TTOO and also bcrx is requested.
Of course. No, we can't leave it up, bcrx.
Yeah.
Because that's had a very it's a very uninteresting week, but nonetheless, it's uninteresting if you're looking at numbers, but it's interesting in terms of all the chatter about it.
Yeah. Which I don't pay too much attention to be honest. I'm more of a numbers guy.
No, I got you. But if you
Oh,
listen to
this one I'm
By the Rumors Tell the News, you got to hit the type of chatter tells is this news chatter or
Did
is
you
this
do you ever read
chatter?
the comments at the end of our comments?
Yeah, I do. They
Well,
say how great it is.
Doug Smith, easy to look at SAAS. Doug Smith drove me crazy with a comment to look at all these SAAS stocks, and in particular TTD. So I look at TTD and I say to him, reply to the last vlog that I had it in mind to buy. I didn't put in an order. Just I'm upset. Money on it, of
Well,
course.
yeah, what's that? Well, if it makes you feel any better, it's losing money after
If
market.
you don't believe me, read my comment, my reply. Is think that he's not telling the truth. I can show you on the chart why I liked it.
What does this company do?
It had only one other high to take out. Who the hell knows? SAAS, B2B, I think. I don't know what they do. I was just looking at the chart. I don't even know what SAAS stands for. I'm so naive to this stuff.
Swedish Air Service.
But Doug didn't show up, did he?
Doug did not show up yet. No.
He could answer that question.
Yeah. So let's do TTOO in the meantime.
No, I'm doing TD because I just got to show off.
Oh, okay. Did you actually make money on this, or is this one of the? Okay.
These are one of the ones I almost made money on if I got into it. Look at that candle today. I was dying watching it without having money on it.
If I had bought Amazon when it was $2. Wow, look at that.
An if is an if. But this is the high that I was looking at, 314.98.
Right.
I wanted to break at 315. And Dr. J was supposed to go in. And I was going to go in big time. I would have made a lot of money. But Doug made money just buying options, in and out quick. This is a woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Indeed.
TTOO.
Yes, we have a couple of requests for that. Mustafa has a couple of requests, but he's also interested in BCRX. We'll talk about that in a little while. Let's do ttoo first.
Well, we don't like the give back at the end, probably at the end of the day, but I don't know. Usually it's at the end of the day.
So this is another one of your bio companies. So you should have some
Biosystems. I don't even know what they do. They're a COVID play, I'm sure.
Are they a COVID play? Let's see.
They must be. Look at the chart. You can tell the chart says this is a COVID play. You don't have to be a genius to know it's a COVID play.
Well, but I mean, if you said that, then everything's a COVID play because everything went down.
Didn't we have that discussion? Everything is a COVID play.
That's true. And you're right. T2 Biosystems announced worldwide link licensing agreement of COVID-19. Yeah.
Of course it is. What else could it be?
All right. When you're right, you're right.
Look at where it stopped.
It's up 21% today. I mean, that's a really good.
The old
and after hours,
look at this, Mike. It closed at $1.30. What was the old high? Most recent high? $1.30. And it's
$1.28.
Exactly where it closed. So it closed at resistance. So it tested the waters above the old high, and it gave it all back. We don't like that. Plus, there's a gap to be filled right in here. Plus, I don't know what the run is all about.
No recent news.
Linda said to look at this. Did Linda want me to look at this for 1 year? Is that it? Is this the one?
No, she was just. No, Tim Graham said he was cautious to this stock. Yeah, 1 year chart looks like a big cup for me, is what she said.
Oh, this is the so-called cup and handle.
Gotcha.
The cup part. I don't like this long pattern. I don't trust them. Truthfully, I've done my best when you could really see the rounded nature of the cup. So you could argue this is a cup and handle. I'm not going to say no. And maybe it is. Maybe it makes new all-time highs up at $3. But that's a big maybe. And maybe it'll take another year to finish this pattern.
Well, not if it's going to build off of a COVID play. Actually, while we're on this discussion of COVID plays, there's this issue about whether or not these protests and even all these people gallivanting with each other during Memorial Day, whether or not that's going to lead to like a week or two later lead to any kind of massive increase.
I was talking to a physician the other day about it, and he said the transmission rates in the Long Island hospitals are way down. I mean, in Long Island, and admissions are way down. So it looks like it's on its way out. Whether this will give it a little spurt, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In terms of there is some rumbling about whether or not there's going to be a lull, let's say during the summer into September on these COVID plays, and again whether or not if there's a rebound, whether or not they'll come back into favor during the rebound.
Bottom line on TT, you want to hear my bottom line on TTOO? I don't trust it.
Yes, I do. You don't trust it. Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
exactly what Tim said.
Tim and I are often on the same wavelength. Often. Okay.
It's bcrx.
Hugging that trend line. We like that.
Look
at this. Classic A, B, C correction.
Right.
Hugging the trend line. Ready to make its pop.
I backed in again this week.
Good move. Good move.
Oh, I mean, it looks like it's bargain price now.
Yeah,
And that was the thing that made that's what made this a weird week.
On the negative side, it did close below the trend line, but unless it rips away from the trend line, I'm not concerned.
Still above 450.
I like bcrx from the chart.
450. Well,
remember
this.
You see this little zigzag here? I'd love to see that as a correction. It's telling you A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. That's how easy charting can be.
Right.
Have I got the right lyrics?
Sure.
A, B, C, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. That's how easy charting can be.
There you go.
Continue it. Now it should continue on up.
Well, again, not to get too fundamental on you, but remember, this was there was a lot of offerings at 450 and a lot of offerings at $5 around there. So this has been a week where, you know, it's just trying to shake that stuff out. And most people think once that all gets shaken out, then we're actually gonna get some real growth.
Well,
but again, those questions about whether or not there are other drugs
waiting news from Brazil.
Excuse me?
I think GALI, they abbreviated GALI. I don't know what the hell it really stands for. Galidomid is whatever the drug is. I think it's a real thing. I think it's going to beat remdesivir.
Right.
In trials. So that from the fundamentals, I'd like the technicals too. Athlon Medical. This is strictly a gut play. Dr. J's gut play. I bought it down pretty low. I bought it at about 127. So I didn't sell any on this run up. I should have. But I'm figuring if they come out with a real catalyst, a real news story about COVID, that it cured COVID or whatever the hell it did, this thing will go to 10. So I didn't want to give it away at $1.80.
Yeah,
this is the one where the CEO denies. So why the hell do I think otherwise? Because the CEO protests too much.
Well, then speaking of which, why don't we look at codx?
Okay.
Only because you know, for a long while it was hanging around about like 39 cents or something like that, and now everybody's looking for it to be the next coming.
Look at what we have here. A nice run up in CELH. And
which one is this? This
very well could be the bottom, or it could be one of those A, B, C type corrections, in which case we come down lower.
Jerry, which stock are you looking at here?
CELH.
Oh, CELH. Okay, I'm sorry. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
It filled the gap right here, which I like. So it came back down. I mean, there is another gap down here, but forget that. I think this one is interesting. It's had a long run. That's the only thing against it. And also, this is a classic turnaround candle. So that long upper wick and come back down to a gravestone doji type thing. So there's a few negatives, but it's worth watching anyway. I shouldn't watch it as long as I watch TTD, though. That was a little too long. What did you tell me to chart?
codx.
I have not sold any of mine. Have you sold any of yours?
If I did, it was very little. I'm waiting to. If I did, I sold very little because I'm going to come back in. Maybe if it does go low, closer to 16.
Yeah, I mean, they are a pure testing play. They're proven test, and they've come back down a little bit. This one could easily run to 20.
I'm still in there a fair amount.
Easily run to 20.
At least for me,
It's forming.
Almost 30 cents worth.
This looks like a classic consolidation.
Yeah, it dipped a little bit though. To that, it's just been the last couple of days have been a little anemic.
A little schwach.
Yes, exactly. But I agree with you that overall, there might be a little buying opportunity, but that also goes in with what I was saying before about whether or not everybody says testing, unless they decide that they're not worried about it anymore. If
Well, maybe they're not worried about it anymore.
Well, look, if nobody from these riots is COVID.
When I bought FedEx, everyone said you're crazy. It's a stay-at-home delivery company. What are you buying FedEx? I just bought it not too long ago. I caught a little pop already. I like this one.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, no, I like the stock. Don't get me wrong, but it looks like there might be an opportunity to come in lower.
There's a well-tested bottom right here, triple bottom.
Okay.
A beautiful candle last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's hugging the downward trend line a little bit. It could pull back into this pennant, and if it does, that's fine.
Is that under 16 or above 16? I'm talking about that line. Yeah, where's that line?
This low is 1588.
1588. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
the thing is that I bought into that pre-news, and so I just whatever I bought into that pre-news that I found disappointing, I sold. But I'll get back in again now.
You know what's really amazing? Look how many touches of this trend line there are. You have a relative high, a relative high, a relative high. Mm-hmm. So it is proven resistance, and then once it breaks, proven support. I love it. I really like this technically.
Okay.
You have very strong support here. If it pulls back to 16, I'll probably buy more.
Yeah, that would seem to be the move.
Well, look at how it works. Resistance becomes support.
Right, it becomes support.
Did you ever hear that before?
Exactly. Everyone shows that, Dr. J.
I use all these trite sayings all the time. What was resistance becomes support. Dr. J is very banal. Is that the word?
Very banal. Sure.
I have no idea. Right word?
I don't know if that's necessarily the right word.
Not the right word. Okay, yes. I'm going to use more bad words myself soon. I want to look at meso. Is
that a threat or a promise?
I'm just way up. I took a look at my portfolio. I said, "Wow, I didn't realize I made this much on meso."
On meso, right? Oh, did you want to look at that one today?
Well, look at this beautiful trend line, and it goes all the way back to March. Beautiful trend line.
Okay.
Well, not real. Yeah, I guess so. You can say that, but really it goes back to here, to April 28th. Beautiful trend line. And this pennant is troublesome because it's got to break this line before I would add to it. So it would have to break 1336. It would have to break that. And it did break it once, but actually closed above it. This is enough. You see this little candle? This indicates to me it will probably be going up from here. Up.
Okay.
Dr. J says up. Continuation
Dr. J
of the
says on meso. But you've been on this one for a while, haven't you? Like even before the break, before that big break.
I gave it to Jake at 4 down here.
Was it not? Okay.
And then it went up like 60%.
I remember you guys talking about it. Yes.
Jake and friends. He was in a chat room at the time, and he gave it to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that story.
It's a true story. I don't make anything up. I don't lie. I don't exaggerate. I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
That's right. So help you God.
All right. What do you think of the Bibles? The Bible, holding the Bible up at the church.
You saw some of it. You get that saying, "Take the picture already. Take the picture already. This thing's burning my hands. Take the picture already."
He is a theatrical type, that's for sure.
Oh, Lynn's on today.
Lynn is here? That's great. Yep. Who else wants a stock shot? And what else did I promise? 3M.
Eyes of the money.
3M?
Well, we never. No, I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing 3M myself. But let's see. ADMA. I'll just list some of the things I will mention. ADMA.
I will ADMA. The ADMA people will kill me if I don't. I promise. Okay.
It's also Linda. So.
All right, I have to chart ADMA.
Yeah.
Breakout. This is interesting. Breakout.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy you got me back into the stock.
Are you kidding? This is a breakout. What was the high here? 163.08. No, maybe not a breakout yet. The high here was what? 161 only. Not a breakout yet, but close. Mm-hmm. Close. But it did break the 200. We like that, right?
I'm not complaining at all.
And you see this curl, this nice curl on the 50? Man, that's not far away from crossing the 100. This thing has gone back to new highs by the end of the year.
Why isn't this called a cup and handle?
Where?
Well, all right, maybe I don't understand. What does the handle have to come
handle is a continuation pattern. So up here, and then you complete it. I don't know. This is not a cup and handle. To me, I'm not sure. I like a real rounded bottom.
Gotcha.
So if I don't see a real rounded bottom, I ignore the cup and handle.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, this certainly not a cup. This is more like a champagne glass.
Yeah, I like a true rounded bottom.
Like I say, everybody, oh, you want to see a shape in there? It's like, so yeah, I can see that shape. I see George Washington right there.
3M just looks good to me, fundamentally and technically.
Well, we talked about it being another one of those plays for keeping clean after this virus.
Yes. And by the way, the one I gave you, ECL, is doing great.
Oh, Ecolabs, yeah, I was just looking at that.
I didn't just give it to you. I told everybody to buy it.
You told that? Yeah, it wasn't just me. Exactly. It's
Actually, I don't make recommendations because my opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice, as do yours. Because, what do I care if somebody buys the same stocks I buy? Doesn't make me wealthy.
There's plenty to go around. None of us are price busters.
Frankly, darling, I don't give a damn. Buy what I buy, don't buy what I buy. Whatever you do, check with an investor.
You know,
And that could be your wife, your dog, but
what's being requested right now is CVM. Go figure. As if we could ever go a day without talking about that stock. And
that would be like heresy.
Yeah, I know. Bob was talking about Mar and Cabinet Guy was talking about PENN. I thought we talked about PENN for a second.
I think if you don't talk about CVM, you could get excommunicated.
Well, this is right? The Dr. J show.
If you don't talk about CVM, you're in trouble.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here. This has been a very messed up week for CVM.
The Pope is invested in CVM. You know that, don't you?
The Pope?
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to excommunicate if you don't talk about CVM. And the Hasidic rabbi that took over for what's his name? He's invested, and so is the head of the Anglican Church invested, and so is the head. What was the head of the what sect was it the other night on TV? Is that an Episcopalian minister?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Mennonites who are protesting.
No, I'm talking about excommunication for no matter what religion you're in. If you don't talk about CVM, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Well,
doesn't matter. But I guess if you're an atheist, you're safe.
Yeah, you can't really get excommunicated from the atheists.
Maybe you can. There are such a thing as ardent believers in atheists.
You don't question enough. Pick a faith and live with it.
I never seen anything like it on the internet, when Hawkins was alive, Stephen Hawkins. They would have these ardent discussions about why there's no God, and all that.
Oh, and that other guy, Christopher Hitchens. He was really big on that show.
Bill Mayer. What did he say his name? Bill Mayer?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Yeah, and I like his take on things.
He blames every war on religion, every war. This is a beautiful trend line, Lynn. It's adhering to this beautiful trend line. I think there's going to be a real need still for plasma treatments, antibody treatments, and until they come up with a synthetic drug like SRNE and Mount Sinai are working on, something like a synthetic real plasma is the way to go, right?
I'd say.
It looks good. Around. It's sitting at the 50. Looks good. Looks like the time to buy if you like this stock. Fundamentally, because you're sitting right at support. Yeah. And then if it goes through that line, all is not lost. You have further support down here. If it goes through that, then get the hell out. How's that?
I'd say that's good advice.
I'm still in half my position. I had more, but I wanted to raise money for something else. I don't remember. So I sold half. And the fact that I kept half, I told everyone meant not that I liked this stock. Otherwise, I would have got rid of all of it.
If somebody
so looking at support all the way down here.
Yeah, no.
The bad news is 236 is the next real level. Well, no, that's not true. This is you could look for support right here too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I clicked on that. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Come on, why isn't it clicking? There we go. So support at first support level at 259. Then we drop down to this. But the first support really is this one, the trend line, right? What it's sitting on, and probably a good time to enter. So finally we're going to wind up the show at CVM.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
The root of all evil.
Root of all roots.
3 weeks to go for data. That's my prediction.
3 weeks.
Three weeks to go
Now,
for data.
Is there something happening with BCRX tomorrow? Some sort of announcement with BCRX? Because somebody asked about that.
I look at charts. Don't ask me. I look at charts. People tell me things. Somebody told me that the data lock has been lifted, so now the data is free to be examined by statisticians, and I believe they have 3 weeks.
For BCRX or for CVM?
For CVM, I don't know if that's true or not, but here we have another one of those. Look at this.
You guys have been playing with a taste of that data.
I want to show you something. Another one of these. Well, it's not a clear-cut ABC because it didn't go down far enough, but it is sort of like an ABC. It looks like the correction is over. Triple bottom here. Correction time is over. Now the question is, it pulled back off its highs today. Can it get past 15? That's the question. Or will it drop back down to the trend line? You know something? I don't care. I just care about data. Let's say 3 weeks.
Right. This is really just, at this point, it's just the coin flip.
I really don't care.
Roll. Just the dice roll.
I don't care.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm going to show you my pretty spreadsheet once again because I added a column.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. If I can find it. Yeah. Something.
So do you have anything to say about GNUS? Because a couple of people have been asking about it. Do you even know what that is? GNUS. What is that?
This is not right.
No, it's
This is right. All right, so I added a column, percent improvement in overall survival. I only gave the percent improvement in the death rate.
Right.
Earlier. So this is really the column I'm interested in. And this is a troubling one to me. 25 dropout is reasonable. 20 is reasonable. This is what's troubling.
If it goes above.
This is not that unreasonable either, 51% death rate on standard of care. So it's possible that it could just miss. But it doesn't matter. Even if it just makes it, like down here, that's probably a miss, right? Because it's got to have a little leeway in order to reject the null hypothesis. I mean, you know more about stat than me. Isn't that true?
Yeah, but the hypothesis isn't that the percent would be 10%. The percentage would be 10%. The hypothesis is that that is bigger than the standard of care. You're using 10% as a metric.
The hypothesis that you're rejecting is that there's no difference between the two populations.
Precisely. And then it's a question of how much gap you need for significance. So you're presuming 10%. But 10% is not unreasonable to figure that would need in order to get that kind of confidence.
Right. So in other words, it's probably.
But that's all data dependent, though. I mean, and I didn't. And there was somebody was saying that I think one of your guys was saying that it's not just at the very end anyway. That you have to look at the data across the timeline also.
I don't know that that's true. Maybe.
I mean, the experiment's over when you hit the right number of events, which happened this year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the experiment's over. But the data is not just collected at the very last day. The data has been collected all throughout the time of the study.
Yeah, but what does it mean if
So
it meets,
it feeds into the hypothesis.
if the end point is met and at the end it's good enough to reject the null hypothesis, what does it mean if in the middle somewhere it's not? I don't understand.
I see what you're saying. But
No comprendo.
Here's the point. Let's suppose you let the study go on for 100 years, then everybody's dead, and there's no difference.
Yes.
So that's why you don't look only at the end point.
You have to have an answer to everything.
Nate?
Yes, you're too smart.
That's why I'm Professor Spike.
You know too much. You know too much.
And, I'm not an easy person to live with.
Yes, you are. I can't get back to StreamYard. I'm stuck.
Okay. Well, I can just tell you what people are saying because we're sort of done anyway.
I'm back.
So what are you drinking today anyway?
Sharing.
What are you drinking today anyway?
What's that?
What are you drinking these days?
What am I drinking?
Yeah, today was such a great day.
A little carbonated THC.
The carbonated THC.
In carbonated form. Salsa.
Salsa, okay. Well, you never know what they put in that stuff. All right. Well, I think everybody should be somewhat satisfied with what we did for them. Do you want to end with another stumper?
I'm going to put down something to not think about, but I got involved with this. I didn't buy any of this. It's a penny stock on the Toronto Exchange. And it's a pharmaceutical company that plans on making money one day in the future. With mineral-based pharmaceuticals. That's not one. I clicked the wrong one. Ramesh next week.
Yeah, okay. And
I
think the reason people are talking about it is some people want to boast like you usually do, because at the beginning of the year it was 31 cents and now it's $7.93.
What is?
GNUS, GNUS.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look at it. Not now, though.
Genius Brands.
Now,
I think
it's time for a Professor Spike riddle question.
Another Professor Spike riddle.
Did you ever give the answer to the?
No. People did get the Vincent Price one. That it was Egghead.
Who is it?
That Vincent Price played Egghead on the old Batman show.
I don't remember. All right, I know who played. Right. Frank Gorshin played the Riddler, right?
Riddler.
Whatever.
That's correct.
And
all right, so I'll flip it around and I'll ask, who played the Archer? And I'll leave everybody with that. I'm sure a couple of people are going to answer right away. But that's my question: who played the Archer on the Batman TV show, which had a lot of fun guest stars?
Shout out to Heath. And
shout out. Yep.
Space, the next frontier.
Space,
the next frontier.
Shalom, Bob. Arcel. We have a lot of requests.
Until we meet again.
We'll be here all week.
To you. Until we meet again.
Oh, you're living in America.
Lego, everybody. Ciao. Right. Good night, Professor Spike.
Goodbye. Good night. I'm sorry.